Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our fireside chat. This evening, we are celebrating. Yes, we are surely celebrating women in women in business, matter of fact. So let me be clear. Firstly, the presentation that we had earlier, it showed us how we can utilize ICT and technology in businesses. And I want you to value the presentation. I would ask Ms. Collison from the ministry to share the presentation with us so that we can disseminate to the members in the audience here this evening. So this evening here, we are, as I'm saying, celebrating women and female founders. As we open this event, I would like to let you know around the world, more than 100 countries and over 230 cities celebrate Female Founders Month. Startup Grind has collaborated and partnered with countries across the globe to make these events a success. Why? Startup Grind understands the challenge women face in entrepreneurship. And we understand as well that this task cannot be done in one night, it cannot be done alone. So this is why we look forward to partnering with other companies as well to make these events a success. As we begin, I would like to firstly let you know at these events, Startup Grind ensures that they interview the world's smartest and most powerful female founders. And in the audience here with us today, we have one. So let me introduce to you Guyana's iconic fashion designer with 20 years of experience in the fashion industry, local and international awards, none other than Dr. Sonia Noel. Thank you for being a part of this event, Dr. Noel. So we're going to get into the most interesting part of our event. So before we do any further, Dr. Noel, we usually start our fireside chats by asking about our host. But I'm sure many persons know about Dr. Sonia Noel. So don't let us go there. Of course, she's a fashion designer. I don't want to deprive you of anything, but this is where I'm going. We want to know Dr. Noel before she became a fashion designer. We want to know the Dr. Noel who was a teacher, who was a vendor, who was a cook. That is where you can start for us. I know it's a bit outfield, but
no, not at all.
Yeah, I want to know where, because we all start somewhere. We don't just wake up and end up at any point. We want to know where it all started for Dr. Noel. So
I was watching TV one day and somebody was talking about overnight success took them 20 years. Because sometimes you don't know the work put in behind the scenes, but you know when they have arrived. By the way, I just love your boho get up. Definitely, you look absolutely wonderful. Yes. Which part do you want me to start? Of course, my hometown, Wartica. Very pleasant memories for me. I often go back there sometimes when I feel so pressured and like overwhelmed, and I go there and it's like so calming for me. And like when my mom, I'm still like her baby, or I'm the eldest. And when in the morning when you wake up and you smelling the aroma of lemongrass tea, and your mommy making bake in the kitchen for you, it's a special feeling. Better than any five-star hotel I've been to. So it is very humbling, and it just takes you back and to that little girl. One of my most memorable events would definitely be when I was at Brown University. Actually, I was the first Caribbean designer to be invited to do a presentation on Caribbean fashion. And of course, Brown University, the Ivy League, the Kennedys went there. I actually got lost in the campus. But it was it's like, I'm there. I could remember that afternoon like it was yesterday. And the place was so still. It was so still. And I'm there, and I got flashes of that little girl in a mining town that had a dream. That little girl that stood at the bottom of her grandmother's, when you have those stilt houses and then the step comes down, and looking at kids going to school party, but she couldn't go because she didn't have the dress.
wow.
And I always knew I wanted to make my mom life better. I wanted to do good in school so she can be less stressed being a single mother with 5 of us. And I asked myself, what can I do to help her? And of course, finances was very scarce. So I said, okay, I'm going to start doing some plantain chips, sugar cane. So I asked my grandmother to help me, to teach me to do that. And like the evenings, I give the sugar cake, I do that in the evenings, but this plantain chip I wanted fresh, so I do it in the morning. I wake up so early and fry it and make my little sour and put it in my little bowl and stuff.
So how plantain chips and sugar cane transform into dresses? You're telling me these nice things. Tell me how this do this transformation.
Oh, yeah, but here, no, I graduated actually. I went to China and so on.
Oh, wow.
From that, I decided I had this lady named Auntie Danny. She was our landlord. And she saw how, I was trying, and she came, she said, listen, I'm going to teach you to make pastries and cakes and so on. So as I got into secondary school, although I was considered sort of a flashy girl, because I actually started modeling when my junior pageant, I was at 11. So they considered me this little flashy girl. Let me tell you something. At 3 o'clock, when I left high school, secondary, I'll go home, get a snack, change, and I have one day it was buns, one day it was cake, one day it was like pine tart, cheese roll and stuff. And I would walk those streets of Bartica. That's in my teenage years. I would walk those streets. I don't care who laughed at me because I know I helped my mother. I started throwing box art since I was 11. And what I used to do is, like at July, because of course, July, August, I would help mommy to get our school clothing because it was Daddy never sent any money for us when she left him. So that was the time I would help and say, okay, mommy, I'm going to buy for me and Nicole, or, because none of us, there was never a September where any of us went to school all together. Never. So it was always somebody stay home. Actually, I failed in school. I failed, it was in third form because I missed the entire first term. And I couldn't catch up, and I failed.
Wow.
And it was kind of embarrassing going like you miss the whole term, and then you're going to school, but I know I had to do it. I know this is beyond me. This is bigger than me, So I was the kind of child that it's not like I would just put aside pride. This is what it is. I have to do this. This is what it takes. I have to do it. So for me, I had a determination. I had that determination from even under 10 because I can remember telling my mom, I was probably 8. That day she was making bread. So she gave me my little piece to do my one little thing. And I saw her, she was crying. She was making bread and she was crying. And I said, Mommy, why don't you leave? Just leave him. Because of course, my dad was very abusive. And I said, Mommy, let's leave him. I said, let us just pretend we're going by Granny in Bartica and don't come back. Let's go like holiday and don't come back. She actually did it when I was 10. Wow. But at 8, I told her that. My mom was so sad. Imagine me coming home and seeing my mom with all of these tablets wanting to kill herself. Imagine a little girl coming home, her mom there, and I was like, Mommy, please, think about me, think about Nicole. She said, I'm done, because she said, I'm tired of the licks, I just want to go.
So why didn't you just continue selling your china and your sugar cake and so
But financially, I had to help with them also. I'm actually a pretty good cook, because I developed a love for that, And I actually stopped when I was in CXC class because I had to pay attention to my exams then. And so what I would do is I helped to make it. And for my sister to sell it, who was younger than me. So what my sister would do, she was embarrassed, right? So she'd walk around and go to play somewhere and so on, come back and say none himself. She was kind of embarrassed to do it. But not everybody's different.
I understand. So the fashion career started?
My fashion career started, my interest in fashion as long as I can remember because my aunt Corey, she was like, I used to really look at, everything used to be matching and so. I used to go in her wardrobe, like the things can't fit her and just alter it. She had really cool stuff. And when I went up for that junior pageant at 11, I actually made my own stuff. It was like, that's when you had like the Sonata textile, the cotton, and remember they had this drive of the local cotton stuff?
I think I'm below.
Oh my God, how old is he again? I'm so sorry. But, so it was always in me, and even when I was a school teacher, I implemented so many fashion programs in Miss Bartica Secondary School and all that because it's where I come alive. I'm so passionate about it. But what I am more passionate about is using that platform to inspire lives.
That's great. That's great. I know you even write a column in the Chronicle.
Yes.
Yes, and it's wonderful. It's a wonderful.
Be on the
column.
runway.
Yeah, on the runway.
Every
But-
Sunday. Actually, you were mentioned in that column too.
Yeah, I know.
And the handsome Eldon Marks.
But the thing is, for me, I know that you started your fashion career, then you moved to Georgetown. What is it that you want to say? Why couldn't it have been done in Bartica?
Actually, when I moved to Georgetown was when I wanted to do my own brand, you know, because I started a boutique in Bartica called Mariska's Fashion after my elder daughter. But I would always, you know, I just like to be different. I just don't like to stand. I like to stand out. I don't like to blend in at all. So people come in the shop and say, "But you wear the most exotic stuff and we never find it in here." But it was always my own concepts. So I said, you know, I started doing for friends and family and so on. And I said, you know what? I think I'm actually going to do this. Then, you know, when I tell some people you live in Bartica, because by then I was doing pretty well for myself, you know. And they're like, why are you going to leave? You got a good life here, you know, I had my own boutique. And, you know, life was going really well for me, but I'm the kind of person like to take chances. I dream big. And with the knowing that I can make that dream a reality.
But did you know anyone in Georgetown?
Not really, because I had like cousins, but not like really close, because my dad, relatives, and I, we weren't really, I really didn't know that much. But I'm like, I'm gonna go. I told my mom, I said, keep my kids for a little while, my two daughters. I said, within a year, I need them with me. And I came down and I was like, okay. I started doing, I was in this little apartment. And I was like, you know, feeling my way around, you know, you're in the city, you know? But you know what, you see what, God is so amazing in your life. When you ask Him for things and you put Him first, like things happen without you even knowing sometimes, you know, like, you know, of course you pray for things and you do your vision board, you visualize it, whatever, you see yourself, you project and everything. But sometimes things move so fast, and this was one that really moved fast. Because like, the name Sonia Noel, after I think it was a tea party, something they invited me to show. It was the Red Cross or Cancer Society.
Just like that?
No, I wore some stuff and I went somewhere because that's one of the things I always do. You know how many clients I got from wearing my own clothing at airports, like all over the world, different. And I say to them, I said, if you don't believe in it, who's going to believe in it? You know. So I went somewhere to an event and somebody said, oh, God, I love what you're in. And I said, well, I'm, you know, this is one of mine. I said, no, getting my little self together. And they said, wow, they had this cancer society. It was Merriman Mall. They were having this event, and they said, okay, well, can you show? And I said, it was because I had outfits, and I said, okay, fine. And then people started, you know, and networking is you know, especially when you're starting up as a young business, you don't have money to be advertising.
Tell
you
me
know,
that's what I wanted to
and we had Facebook and so on. I mean, it wasn't like.
So how do you get all these clothing other than just dressing up and going out?
Well, what I did know after I started that show, and then I opened a shop. Actually, I tell you, people think I'm crazy, but I'm not that. And I decided that, okay, I have a few clients. I need some more clients. I got some. I have my. Actually, I rented a place where downstairs was the basement, was all the sewing happens. This here was a showroom, and upstairs was my office.
So how did you acquire the funding?
No, but I had my business in Bartica, so I had a little money saved, right? But then I'm like, geez, my money was running out. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to have a big fashion show. But obviously, when you're not a big name, nobody can sponsor your stuff and so on. But I had some friends who believed in me, and that is where relationship capital comes in. Because sometimes you don't have that ready money, but they can give you a place to do it, and they can give, you know, that kind of thing.
So you're calling relationship capital. Explain a bit more on the
No, relationship capital is vital, and I'm sure some people here would have used that. Where's Ayana? She just laughed. And David knows what I'm talking about also. And I'm going to tell you, like, recently where I applied it, when I wanted to do Women in Business Expo, I was like, okay, the foundation doesn't have money. Of course, we don't have had any grants or anything. But I need to do this. The Women Association of Sustainable Development don't have any money either. All right, I called Mr. Badal. I said, Mr. Badal, I need a favor from you. What's that? That was last year, not this year. The first year was last year. I said, I need your place to do this event, and I need it free. I'm bold like that. I have nothing to lose if you say no or yes. And he said, Sonia, but I said, no, Mr. Badal, listen to me. He said, okay, all right. Well, Sonia, he said, you just have a way of, Anyway, call Joan and book the dates and so on. Call Joan and book the dates. That's okay. The venues are already, who else do I know that I need this? Call Lennox. Lennox, listen, I need some tables to say no, and I need some whatever.
But you had to already
I already built the
repetition.
repetition, but that's why credibility is very, very important.
All right, how do we, for the young entrepreneurs, the young founders who are here today, especially those who want to be designing these things, how do they, I know you said you came over to Georgetown with some money, but what could you say to them that would make them know, if I don't have money, I can use these avenues? And I don't even have a name.
But you have to build that. And one of the things I say to young designers especially, and that's when passion comes in, is when you have passion for what you love, you would make the impossible possible. Because you were thinking, how can it, you were just like avenues of, but that's why I say to people, it looks glamorous, but there's a lot of work behind the scene. And you see, when it's from in here, trust me, it doesn't feel like work. And you would like, the boldness that, and the adrenaline, like people always ask me, how do you do so much thing when you always got this energy? Trust me, sometimes I am exhausted, but I am able to tap into that reserve because I love what I do. And I say to young designers, I said, you know what? Talent is not good enough. We have millions of talented people all over the world. It's the attitude that comes with it. And that's why building relations are very, very important. That's why your word must be your bond. If you don't turn up to something, you must say, somebody got to die or something. She is not like this. And that's the only way you build credibility, you can get almost anything that you want from people. That is very important.
I mean, starting a business, and I can speak from startup grinders experience, we know that trying to fill a room with people, it's a hard thing. And we would try all sorts of strategies, and that is what I really want persons to leave here with, at least one of your famous strategies. You could pull it out from the bag and let them hear, how is it I could come out with nothing and then end up with a big brand like Sonia Noel, because it's really big, check it. How is it? I don't know if you want to share, but just say a bit on how these young designers, these creatives, because I respect the creatives. If you see the tapestry was done behind us here, it was done by Rosanna. You have to have that very to keep going, even if you sit and you look at things. And I was like, how is that going to be done? And it wasn't completed, but it was a start. And she knew that she had to keep going. And I know sometime or the other you must have felt this isn't working.
Many times. Many times. Sometimes you feel so broken, you feel so, like the fashion, not only fashion, I'm talking about the creative sector here, very unappreciated. Sometimes that is the feel you get because our society still think you do that when you have nothing else to do. And it is quite unfortunate. And that's what sometimes, when the young creatives come to me and I still have to make them feel, yes, this is possible. But I would really love to see, coming back to the point of starting, because remember when I came from Bartica, I had a little bit, but starting in Bartica, I started like really small actually in my boutique that I had.
Okay.
I used to actually go to Caro. How I started, actually I started a boutique, like the outlying areas. I used to catch a boat, buy things and go sell. Yes, come to Georgetown, Ashmains and whatever, buy wholesale stuff. Get a boat, go to Caro. Get a boat, go to Rivers View. That is how I started.
That's what I want to hear.
Right, that's how I started with a shop. I'm not a shop after. But that is how I started. But yes, so you have those moments when you do feel broken. We all have those moments. And coming back to when you have that passion, you kind of shake yourself up and you dust yourself up and you go again. But you can only do that when you live in your purpose, when you have that inner, that burning in here to do it. Let me tell you, I can't imagine myself doing anything else. This is in my DNA. I mean, I wake up in the morning and, a little has changed over the few years, over the 20 years, because now I'm combining, of course, the love for fashion to inspire life. So when I wake up in the morning and And I thank God, even if nothing else works. I mean, you see this, we take it for granted. I'm breathing, I'm alive. I don't even know if I could come off my bed, but I am thankful. And showing gratitude is important.
Yeah,
Showing
I agree with that.
gratitude is important.
You see, the thing is, in Guyana, the economy is different, and I believe what entrepreneurs look for is that security. And it's hard for them to just say, I could just put my all into it, because I'm sure there are persons here who possibly work and also try to have a startup of their own. And the thing is, how do they know when it is at the point where you can say, I ain't gonna work anymore. I'm gonna go full-fledged into my passion, like you were saying, be passionate about what you believe in and just go after it. I think it's easier said
Than done.
than done.
Yes, because people are afraid of the unknown. And I know actually a few people, one of them actually, a few of them in my women's group, one of them is a teacher, super talented, lives in Burmese. And she said, Sonia can't wait to leave this teaching job she's been doing for 25 years. But her passion really is what she's doing. And she's good at it. But remember, people are still, of course you have to pay your bills. And you have to have that, sure thing. So even though she is stressed, but what really gives her that fulfillment is when she goes up and even she puts those arrangements together and she sprays it and she's sending pictures and whatever. And she actually is getting lots of orders. So she is coming closer to calling it quits, right? Because it's looking like it's getting into the direction where she can provide a livelihood. But it's not easy. But the other thing is, it's about you, and it's about what you want and how strategic you are going to be. Because a lot of times, like they had this example of a man was given 2 doors. Behind that, you choose. One is freedom, and another one is. But he chose the one that was a sure thing, which was death by the firing squad, because he didn't know the other one was freedom, right? But that is how but people just, and also you have to, the people you surround yourself with, see the people in your inner circle, what I call a front row. You see your front row? Your front row can make or break you, because we all need mentors. Oprah Winfrey got 5. Bill Gates got probably another 5. So when you look at those people that have they all need mentors, because from the outside, remember this is a picture, this is a frame that you are looking at. So you're seeing what's going on in there. You see, Gary's one of the people that would tell me things. So I think we have to sometimes be bold, and I like to say that I'll jump and grow my wings down. I'm that kind of crazy person. You have to be a bit crazy sometimes to really enjoy this life. And so sometimes even with, your knees are knocking and you're shattering. I want to make this ball move. How do I, sometimes you just gotta do it. And then, you might fail, and that's another thing. We're too afraid of failure. Fail, but fail forward. When you fail forward, don't let's be afraid of failure.
Yes, you can learn from that, that's very serious.
Oh yes. Let's fail forward.
Getting back into your industry, when you started this industry, what was your knowledge on what you were doing? Did you know that? Did you know, because of course in fashion you have to look at trends and all of these things, you have to know what's wearing, what people want. Did you know how to analyze your market in particular? Let's start here.
Well, because in Bartica, I wasn't doing just my own collection, I was doing like buying stuff, and it was in it was more what was trending. Like my work, my collection now, it's timeless. That has nothing to do with the season or the color or anything like that. So, of course, Bartica's 1 square mile. We know the people that kind of think they like to go to, a lot of short stuff, especially if it's MASH or regatta, well, it's a lot of like hats and jeans and short tops. So it was like basically a no-brainer. Right. But when it comes to, if you ask me the question, like when I started doing my collection, if I knew exactly like what my niche was going to be, no, I learned along the way.
Yeah, well, that's where I'm going to, because you see, entrepreneurs, they start businesses, and I want to know if you believe, because do you think that having ample knowledge of what is it you're getting into can bring you success, or you should go in knowing what you want to do?
It's either way. It's either way. It just depends on, because some people, I've known cases where people had all the money and everything, but they didn't have the passion and it didn't succeed. So it's both ways. Sometimes you don't have the money, but you have the passion. But like, let's
If you have the money, but you don't have the know-how.
and it's not even a know-how, because that can be learned, but coming back to passion. Because I've known cases where people set up a girl in a boutique because, you know, it was their girlfriend or whatever, but she had no passion for that. They just wanted her to do something and it fell. But you have to find, because you know what, you find innovative ways. You find innovative ways, like sometimes John is with me, I would say, oh, this is what we need to do. And like for me, you have to find your niche. And like, this is my signature. The latticing is from the architecture from some of the buildings that we have. That is how I came up with incorporating my clothing. And you can see this a mile away from Sonia Noel. I found my signature. So people, when they buy it, it's like a piece of art. So like, I always give this example of this lady. She's Jamaican. She's honorary consul to Tokyo or somewhere. Bought some pieces from me. I was at the Hilton Manhattan. I had a show. I showed that. She ended up on an event in New York. Somebody came up to her and said, "You are wearing a Sonia Noel."
Wow.
Because the signature was there. So as a designer, you have to find, just like what made me unique. Like, okay, they have dress pants, skirts, whatever. What is going to make me stand out? And that is what was important to me. What do I do so that my designs can make a statement, my designs can stand out? And I've been able to do that, even like bowing somebody for one of my outfits at the Grammys last year. And it cost quite a star, you know?
Oh.
Yes, because I've never seen anything like that. When Michelle Williams wore one of these same tops on when she was promoting Filler, she said Alicia Keys called her next and said, "Where did you get that from?" You know? So I have been able, I feel so blessed to be able to have that, to develop that. I say to young people, there's only so much you could copy.
But that's what I was going to ask you. How do you protect it?
Right? Well, you see, because we don't, where's I should have, but we're talking about, should we do she's doing some patenting for me right now, Guyana, but where we don't have the copyright law still here in Guyana, right? So a lot of things, of course, you have to, this is the most polite form of flattery, yes, but you have to take the risk. You have to take that risk, because Vincent McDoom, who is like a kind of a celebrity icon in Paris, he was at the fashion show last year in Paris, St. Lucian, and he posted what was on the runway, and he said, "I'm seeing this on the runway, but this was made famous by Guyanese designer Sonia Noel."
Wow.
Yeah, but the thing is, I can tell you, they can copy the simple ones like what I'm wearing, but there's some concepts. I've had people had my stuff go to people and say, "Could you duplicate this?" And they couldn't.
So, you said concepts. Tell me about these concepts, because I want to learn as well.
Okay, as I said before, I established that I'm a bit crazy. So, see, he's interesting. So I would think, okay, what? Let's say I have probably 100 ways I can do it, but I want 101, 102. Then I'll go to get the pattern, I'll go to my ladies. When they see, I have a certain look, it seems as though when I come, they're like, "Oh my God, what again?" So I'll be like, "This is what we're gonna try today." I like to challenge myself. I always like to, I don't like to feel too comfortable. I must not ever feel too comfortable. That means I'm not doing anything new or not doing anything challenging. I must always feel that you gotta be disruptive. No, seriously, to get transformation and so on, you can't. You just, if people ain't talking but you ain't doing nothing, you're living too much of a safe life, darling. So when you see the talking, that means you're doing something.
So there's no method to the madness, you're
No.
saying?
No, it's like sometimes, like John has been around with me for years, and he knows my looks. Yes, and he's like, "Oh my God, not again." But there isn't anybody, and I can tell you that, and this is not boasting, that has been around me, that has not learned something or left with some kind of value. Because I vow to, it's most that said, and anybody that enter your life should leave with something, doesn't matter to reach somebody, but they must know, if they spend half an hour with me, or an hour with me, they must go away with some kind of nuggets. They must leave there with something to trigger their minds or something. And if they're around me for years and they're left with nothing, something wrong, trust me.
Have you thought about mentorship?
Well, I think I do it indirectly because I have I have so many people that call me and I give advice and they come and they see me in the shop or they, and I'm telling you, some people are older than.
If somebody right here after the show comes to you and say, well, Dr. Noel, I enjoy what you said and I really like for you to help me out, and because that is what this is about.
Yeah, of
here,
course,
right?
of course.
And we want to grow, and I must say, speaking with you, one thing you told me, collaboration is the new currency.
It is the new
and
currency.
I posted that on my Facebook and it started an uproar. But I was like, you guys didn't know this all the time.
It is the new currency. Seriously, synergies. That is how how the world is going now. Like one of the things when I went to Lisa Nichols, they have this. It's called a connection card. Anybody here familiar with connection card?
They learned about it.
Okay. Do I have an example somewhere in my bag? Do I have one in my bag? Could you bring please? That is the new business card. And she talks about SNAP a lot. You know the meaning of SNAP? SNAP.
Nobody knows?
SNAP. Super networking at an accelerated pace. This here, connection card. Have you ever had like business cards and you look at it and say, why this person give me the card, or why you wanted the card? Have you ever wanted something, you have a whole stack and you're trying to remember? Yes. So this here, that was her point. This here, I don't have all my glasses.
Name,
yes.
Date, email, phone, connect with me. The card is blank, it's just asking for this information as opposed to giving you information.
Right,
So that is what I believe, and they ask, I'm the person you need.
Right, so let's say I go to you, and I go with my snap. Okay, I have 60 seconds. I know some cocktail or whatever. Okay, I'm Sonia Noel. I'm really looking for investors right now. I have a line that's whatever. And then you'll say, you know what? I know somebody who can. Say, see this line here. I know somebody who can help you, or I might be the person. So when you go back to this card, this person's supposed to help themselves to connect with this person.
Great.
So this here is such a great idea, and I would love to share it with you guys.
So this is what you're leaving here with today.
Yes.
Wow, this is a plus. We gotta keep this stuff.
And yes, and that is what I always say, the value that I'm adding for myself is not for me, it's to share. Because like Mother Teresa said, if you would have lived this life without making a difference in one person's life, you would have lived a wasted life. And my favorite phenomenal woman, Maya Angelou, you know what she said? When you get, you give. And when you learn, you teach. Very simple, but profound. And if we really just do that, sometimes apply that to our lives, it would be a better place.
That's something very hard because in Ghana we don't have the collaborative culture.
We need to plan to get it.
So what can we do to?
But you know what? It takes sometimes one man to start a movement. Look what Martin Luther King did with the civil rights. Look what Mahatma Gandhi did in India. Look Nelson Mandela in South Africa. They all stood for what they believed in, and they carried that through. And you can do it. I can do it. You can do it. We all can. We all have to believe it. Because I know our culture, and you know what? It doesn't mean that when you try new things, sometimes it's going to take a while to catch on, but it will, because you have to be persistent and you have to be consistent. So we have to, and we're not left behind. I like the technology thing because, trust me, I'm getting a little better, and I was getting well done. But no matter what you do now, tech is in it. No matter what you do.
I'm glad you're going there because when we look at innovation and these things, because I must speak about that. We can't have a fireside chat and we don't speak about innovation. Not just ICT, but you can innovate with many other things. And I mean, this is something very innovative.
Oh, here.
I don't know if it's because I'm on that shell. I've never seen this before.
No, you're gonna, this here, this, I've known about people that really have gotten actually investments. And because sometimes when you're in a room, and that's the other thing, you need to know your techniques networking. And I always say to, especially young women around me, okay, of course, you get invited to events. You have to know, okay, I'm going there today. There are five people I need to leave there with some kind of connection. And again, that you might know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that's in your field. So the person that you're connected with there may not, but don't leave there with some reference to somebody else. So my evening can't be wasted. There's no way I can go in any room and just be in a corner. No way. walk the floor. I'm not there just to drink some wine and whatever else. I'm there to see who I know or who knows somebody to put me onto somebody. Yes, and that's why we're coming back to believing in you. Because when you don't believe in you, trust me, it's when you find the darkest corner in a room and you just never want nobody to see you. But you see, when you believe in you, and coming back to self, you have to really be comfortable with you.
Self-confidence.
You have to be comfortable with you. You have to love you. And so that's when you love you, you would walk in that place like you own the bloody room. Let me tell you, I'm going to share this same conference I went to, Lisa Nichols. Anybody in here ever heard of her? Yeah. Isn't she amazing?
Yeah.
Oh God, that woman is something else. I mean, actually I was in her suite. I'm a show off now, right? And who know Les Brown in here? I had lunch with him.
Oh,
yes.
Lunch, all of us.
Yeah, and when I didn't know how I was going. When I first saw Lisa Nichols, she's going to be in Atlanta. I was like, I called my cousin. I said, I'm going to go see Lisa Nichols in Atlanta. She's like, really? I said, I don't know how, but I know I'm going. Trust me. I didn't know. I didn't have my plane ticket. I had nothing to get there. And I'm like, oh, geez. I saw myself in the front row of her conference. You know where I was when I got there? In the front row. Yes. I saw myself sitting there, and that day I was like, yeah. I look around, I was like, yes, I saw this in my, because I was hungry. I wanted to go, and I made it possible. Like, let me tell you, it was $1,000 admin registration fee, $1,000 US. That's a VIP. Because you had $600 for normal, 1,000. VIP gave you access to her. I'm not going to go all the way and not have access to her. So VIP, of course.
See, I must say, when I first met Dr. Noel was at our second fireside chat, and the energy was so great. It was amazing. I even felt inspired myself to go on for more. And if she's telling me she just went for it, then anything, I'm not jumping off a building or so, but I mean, it sounds, this is the energy that you want as an entrepreneur, and I hope you guys are taking notes. I'm not seeing any pens or pens. You take these notes, you write it down, and you live with it. These are the things that we must and we should do if we're working towards achieving whatever.
No, we have to take chances. You can't always be safe. And I'm not telling like you said, jump off a building. But no, seriously, I am the type of person that even at that same event in Atlanta, I'm there in front row again. And Les Brown actually was one of her mentors. So she was showing a slide of him, and I said, oh my God, I love Les Brown. So the lady that was sitting the one over, she said, I'm going to see him on Monday. She said, oh. I said, is he in Atlanta? I got excited. She said, no, he's in Cleveland, Ohio. I said, okay. I've never been to Cleveland. I don't know nobody in Cleveland. I took out my US phone, went online. Les Brown. Hi, this is Sonia Noel. Do you have any more seats to the Les Brown conference? Oh, we have a couple. Would you like to register? I'll call you right back. The girl was sitting next to me. She was actually here a couple months ago. Hilda, because I don't have a credit card, right? I said, Hilda, how much money do you have on your credit card? Could you register me right now for the Les Brown? Just like that. I have the cash. I just give it to her.
Okay.
She said, okay. She registered. I said, okay, how am I going to get there now? I have to fly or something. When I checked the thing, one way is $400 and something from Atlanta to Ohio. I said, okay, all right. I called them back because when I looked, there was no plane could get me there in time for that thing. I just registered, but I knew I have to get there. So I called them back and I said, is it possible, tell me when Mr. Brown is speaking and where, so I can defer what I just guess I'm not getting a plane to come there. And they said, okay, there's another session in the afternoon, whatever you miss in the morning, you're going to get in the afternoon. I said, okay, I'm on. Called my roommate who was from LA. Angie, you have $450 in a credit card? So yeah, I was like, I have the cash here, so book me a one-way ticket to Ohio. Wow. One-way ticket to some place I've never been. Wow. So sometimes we just got to do it. And I ended up having lunch with Les Brown. Wow. That's how yes.
So you went after it?
It was so funny. I walked in, it was late, and then they had like a break, like 10 minutes after I went. So I went up to him. Hi, Mr. Brown. I'm Sonia Noel from Guyana. Here, where is that? Here, let's take a selfie. I may have got it off at this time, yes. But I had that confidence to go up to him, you know. No, you just have to do it. No, trust me. You see this girl that's sitting here right now, this woman that's sitting here, I was very introverted. I was so shy. You believe I was as shy as a child? Yeah, I didn't believe that. Trust me, I was so shy. I was the type when people come by mommy, I would go inside. That's how shy I was. But I would definitely say when I entered that junior pageant, because of the training, I kind of start looking at myself different. I kind of start, getting that confidence, because you have to walk in front of people, you have to. So there's a lot of negative things attached to pageants, but if it's done the right way, the training is done the right way, there's so much that people can come out, you have to be a better person with that process. So I'm not shy anymore.
Well, I know we can go on and on and on about this, but as we close and before we open the floor for questions, I know you are involved in many organizations. I would like for you to share one significant organization that persons in the crowd who are desirous of even having you mentor them, as you just spoke of, and actually meet you or come and say, well, this was great, and we would like to connect with you.
I would have to say the Women Association for Sustainable Development. That blew the guys out.
Do something for us too.
Because that organization, it's not just business women. Because I actually belong to an organization in Florida, but it's just for professional women. So when I thought about it, I said, that is just, leaving some people out. So when I came back, I said, I want to do something similar, but I want it from the young girl that is just in university trying to find her way to the CEO of companies. And we have it quite mixed because we all can learn from each other, So it has a serious side, but it also has the side that one day we do the electric slide. So one day we do belly dancing and all kind of thing. But of course we have the serious side of the business side. Because I think we have to be more rounded. That's it. I mean, life is so stressful. Sometimes you need to laugh, just laugh sometimes. And so we learn from each other. Like, when was it? I had a retreat. I had a retreat on Sunday. And some guys, beyond runaway retreat. And I'm sure some husbands probably looking for me right now to kill me because I took their wives away. And it's so funny. One of them said, my husband, when she heard I was not going to be home for Mother's Day to be with the kids, but I told him. If Sonia invited me, that means I'm on her A list, and I wouldn't want to be on any other list but the A list. I'm going. She said he's going to be marked for 1 week, but he's going to be fine. But we had such a great time because we've listened to from Wayne Dyer. You know who Wayne Dyer is? Of course, yes. His teaching is amazing, and of course Stephen Covey and those guys. And we sat there and we just, a lot of them, they had some tears and the whole thing because some people wanted to, of course, we all need somebody to talk to, somebody. We play pool, play tennis and all of that. But what I'm getting at is that sometimes we don't talk to each other enough. A lot of times, sometimes we pass without even saying hi. We look at the floor and just avoid saying good afternoon. We gotta stop that crap. We are kind of people, we gotta go back to being our brother's keeper, go back to being our sister, go back to caring more. We're lacking so much love in this world. We need to go back. And if we want to we could be the model country. As I said, it takes a person. We can be an example of what that can be. We can do it. I know we can. And when I see young people like you and Mr. Marks, and I mean, Gary's doing a whole lot. I mean, sometimes I get that feeling of optimism again. Because of course there are days when you're thinking, Jesus Christ, are we going anywhere with this ship going? But when I see people like you and your team and so on, I get very optimistic and we can do it. We just have to believe it. We just have to, again, collaboration. We cannot do it alone. One is too small of a number to achieve greatness. John Maxwell.
I love that idea of that snap card that you talked about.
The connection card with
I think there's an ICT solution for that, which we've been looking for, and I'll let everybody know as soon as I find it. But I think that's just such a vital part, again, of businesses. If you are going to be networking with people face to face, you want to exchange your information, you want a way to keep that information together in one place. I think that is, again, one of those ideas of taking that snap card and finding there might be an app for it. I don't know. I want to find it, but I think, that again is just.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Or even an opportunity for someone
Yeah.
to develop.
Well,
Yes.
exactly. That's how I did.
I know Elder mine is already.
Yeah. Thank you for that. We must have more. I won't give up. We just said you need to go after it. You have a question? When can I meet you for some mentorship? Come on, somebody.
You said you are a member of organizations. Limited.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I read the answer.
Pardon me?
I read the answer, not yet.
Not yet. I don't rule things out like that at all.
I think it'll be well something.
It is the way to go.
Ask because I would want to be part of it. So.
Oh, okay.
You're having a small fan club here. More questions, please. I beg for questions because I mean this is the only way we can know if the sessions, if we've connected, there must be something that some burning thought.
You know, like when you were talking there, I was just remembering, like I was listening to John Maxwell once, and he was saying success leaves clues, that we don't look hard enough. And he was saying when he was like starting up, he looked at people who were successful in the industry and write all of them letters and said, I'll buy you lunch, can I meet with you, just to pick their brains. I think 4 of them responded and actually had lunch with him, you know. And he said he hardly even eat because what he wanted to know, how did you do it? Success leaves clues.
Hit.
Yes. Oh, I'm not really taking lunch.
But I mean, those are things that persons can do if you really, as said
That's
earlier.
the way you have to be hungry. You have to be very passionate about it, and you know, you just can't be, you know, just maybe or whatever.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
One for Dr. Sonia Noel. You're a legend in your field. You're a legend in your field. What legacy you want to leave?
They say start with the end in mind. What do you want your eulogy to read? And when I think about that, I've actually imagined myself in a casket. And seriously, and my eulogy's been read.
Many years.
What do I want it to say? No, I'm not going to go now. But start with the end in mind. Coming back to that point, start with the end in mind. My legacy must be the human resource. Whenever I go, which is going to be over 50 years from now,
At 10 words of that.
it must be, because that is the most valuable. Gold, diamond, whatever else. The most valuable resource is the human resource. So that's why I would say, and that's why I always say that I continue to add value to me so I can add value to people. So definitely it will be humanity. I must have invested heavily. I must have touched enough lives that it should matter. So definitely my legacy would be the human resource. That's what I would like.
We have a question.
You just spoke of touching lives. On the topic of touching lives, have you done any work in schools or so? Because I believe that schools have been not appreciating creative work, creative arts as much as they should.
I have done a lot of work, and I still do it, even in David Rose School for Special Needs. I've been doing work. I've been actually, Minister of Education engaged me to go and, because it's one thing to inspire, but as I said, inspiration, it keeps you going. Inspiration gets you going, but discipline keeps you growing. So it's important, even though, like, okay, we're going to say things to inspire people, but you still have to give them, you know, and that's what we were talking about. For them to they have to have that discipline to grow.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us, I mean, growing up, I didn't hear about the growth plan, you know? I mean, I know about it now, but it's important, especially you have to have a growth plan. Growth has to be intentional. It just can't be something that happens. You have to want it. What do I do this year? What is going to be like when I decided, okay, I'm going to do John Maxwell because I want to grow, and I'm going to do this. So growth has to be intentional. And if you, with a growth plan, you can, when we talk about abundance life, people always think about money. We're talking about abundance and health, and right now I am on a plan to be healthier, because it doesn't matter what you achieve and what you have. If you're not healthy, it's not going to go well. So we're talking about abundance in your finances, abundance in your relationship, because sometimes the finances go in a relationship suffer and say, don't have abundance there either. Abundance in my spirituality. So I'm working on those to really live the abundant life.
Great. I love it. Questions?
So what's next? Like, continue like fashion line?
What's next? Which one of them should I talk about? Immediately, it would be my US trip. That's what I'm planning for. In every year in June, I go for June, early July, 5 weeks. I do a number of shows in the US. It's called Conversations Included with Sonia Noel. So it will be Boston, Texas, New York, New Jersey, Atlanta, Philadelphia, a couple of, like, let's say 6, maybe, yes.
So that's a trip. Is there a Guyana Fashion Week?
Oh, Guyana Fashion Week, that's kind of my baby. It started 10 years ago, yes. But it's every 2 years now. The first year, we had it for every year. It's very consuming and also very expensive. I can tell you, 2007 we started, I had a US bank account in Barbados because I lived in Barbados. You don't want to know the figures that, I had 2 shops then. It actually literally closed my shops down, the money that I took out, yes. But if you ask me, would you do it again? Told you I'm crazy, I probably will.
That's great.
Because, you know, when you look at the difference it makes in the human life and the young people that after Fashion Week 2007, like the creatives that came out and they saw something that they can actually do,
Right.
it's priceless. So I would definitely do it again.
Are you on Instagram?
John, I'm on Instagram, but you haven't posted me in a long time. Think about that. I am on Instagram.
Say, call him out there.
I'm on LinkedIn too.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Great.
Anything else?
Dr. Noel, I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation we had. There's food for thought, but this is more like food for soul. Right? The question, I have 2 questions. The first of which is, what is that single skill, looking back over your successes from the very beginning, what is that single skill that you possess that carried you through, that you could always rely on? That natural skill that was easy to do?
That natural skill?
Yeah.
Is it really a skill? I would say one of the things that really stand out, and it's not even stand out, okay, not skill as a designer, but what I think, one of the things that resonates with people and one of the things that draw people in, always draw people in, is I'm authentic, I am real. Everybody else is taken, why would you want to be someone else? You see the Sonia Noel that you sitting here? Whether she is in wherever, this is the Sonia Noel that you're going to get. So I think authenticity, definitely, yes.
Can I proceed to the next question?
Yes.
Of course.
The second question is, well, you've passed through quite a lot of successes. What would you say is the typical turnaround time from starting something, from something just emerging in thought, to the point where you
It
look
happened.
back and see that wonderful thing unfolded? What is that typical gestation period?
Turnaround time. When it comes to turnaround time, I like action,
I
right?
want to ask every major successful person that, because I want to see if there's some sort of trend, if there's a typical, 1 year, 2 year, 5 years.
I think it just depends on the project. If it's like I'm like, okay, you know what? This is what I'm going to do, and then I will be on the phone to connect all the dots. And like I'm going to give you a typical example of that retreat, Beyond the Runway retreat. I went to the office. I said, John, you know what? I am going to have a retreat. And he said, what? I said, yes. I called Ayana. I said, Ayana, your house available for Sunday? Just like that. And she said, oh, yes. I said, this is the list I want. I said, John, these are the women I need, blah, blah, blah. In half an hour, everything was planned.
Relationship capital.
In half an hour, I had or even less than that. And he looked at me, then Melissa looked at me and said, how can you do it? I said, how can I not do it? But that's the way, just like Fashion Week, when I said, because I travel around the region and it's like, I'm the only guy who's designer there, and I know that I got lots of talent here, and I'm invited to most of the events. I said, you know what, why don't I do something home? Because living in Barbados then, I actually got a lot of networking opportunities, people that I can bring here to help, with the expertise and so on. And that is how it. I said, you know what, I came, I had a meeting with some people that I thought had some vision, and I said, you know what, I want to bring fashion. He said, oh yes, whatever. I left and I went on a cruise with my kids. When I come out, thing on my BlackBerry, I got this message. Oh, we love the idea, but this is too big for Guyana. Called the travel agent. I said, I need 4 tickets to Guyana. I called 3 of my friends. I said, join me. Let's go to Guyana now. I got there and meet all of them, and I said, let me tell you all something. This is going to happen with or without you. With or without you. And you're okay. You can leave because it's going to happen. The next year, all of them is like, oh yeah, Sonia Noel, whatever, if you want any help. I said, no, it's okay, you know. But I like action. I like, you know, if it's not working, it's just, I just don't believe in wasting time at all. No. And how are you doing?
I am fine.
Actually, Lance was one that really bought a fashion week a year, remember? And then he's about it.
Yeah.
No, but I'm not the kind of person that come into a meeting and then the next meeting we talk about this meeting. I have no time for that. Absolutely not. Time is precious. You see this 24 hours? It's getting shorter. Usain Bolt trained this year. Yeah, I don't think so? Usain Bolt trained this year. The way it's running, gotta be he. No, seriously, because you have to. And that's why time management is so important, because you see by the time 10 o'clock passes, we like, oh Jesus, 12 already. Well, I'm the kind of person, like John, I mean, sometimes he turns his phone off because I would call him 3 in the morning. If I get an idea and I think I would call him 3 in the morning, and he sleeps with a notepad under his pillow. Because you never wake up like you had something in mind, right? And then next thing you say, jeez, I think about this idea. You know, you didn't write, you have to write it down. We can't depend on this brain of ours. Come on, there's only so much it can process.
That's great. Any more questions? So we're okay. I would like to challenge the audience. I want to see the hands of all the persons who are not founders or a part of a startup. Don't be afraid. Show me the hands. Everyone, right up in the air. And you know what I want to do? I will challenge you to do so. And at the next event you come and you say, well, this is what we're doing. Because we're building a community, and I'm calling out some people here right now, because I'm saying we're building a community. And it will be launched at the next event. So you see faces, everybody got serious, like, what is he saying? But I'm challenging persons, and I said, if we want to work for something, we want to make something up, we have to go after it.
So, yes.
We have to go after it, and this is what we're doing. We're bringing together some of the best entrepreneurs. So it could be a small, I was standing there, and I was like, what could I say that would start small? So I was like mustard seed. But great things start like this.
Yes, and then you sometimes you ask yourself, what really make me without, what would I do without even being, whether I'm being paid or not, and be so passionate and happy about it. And sometimes a lot of people turn their passion into careers, and you know, what's it they say? Lance, do you know this moment they said when your passion is more than, you have a career when your passion is more than your purpose, because when you have a purpose it's more than your passion, you have a calling, something like that. But a lot of people turn that around into very lucrative ventures just by something they love. Sometimes you have to ask yourself, what do I, like animation, he live animation, breathe, sleep with, and everything.
Lose nothing, lose sleep over.
No, but that is important to love it. It's important to love it. Because I have so many people going to work in the morning, vexed. She's like, I'm going there again.
I'm not one of those persons.
No. I'm not saying tell you to leave your job right away, but you still have to find that parlor, something that really makes you want to, yeah.
Great. I would like to thank you all, and more so Dr. Noel, for being our guest speaker for this event tonight. Great round of applause. Wonderful. On the other side of the building, so let's indulge, let's connect, let's speak
Snap,
about
let's do the snap.
Let's snap.
Let's snap.
I have my card here, those who are interested in seeing it.
Super networking at accelerated pace. Snap, yes. So we got no waste time, get to the point.